Whisky friends, far and wide, we are live. I'm Eric, your humble malt muser. It is Tasty Tuesday. You're all in the right place. 3 hours of whiskey chat coming up as always. Let's get into it. I'll set things up in a minute. As y'all know, I got something real special to sip on tonight with everybody, and excited to see folks in the chat already, which is awesome. How's everybody doing? Everybody have a good weekend? It's Tuesday already. Let's get after it. Just 1 second. Make sure this is off. There we go. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. As always, I'm going to just hop into the chat quick, see what's up with everybody. Looks like Daniel's the first in. 70-degree weather. It was -2 last Tuesday in Texas. Damn. Good. Glad things have turned around. It's actually warmer here, too. Philadelphia, man. It's like almost hit 50 today. Damn window open. French, how you doing up in Duluth? What's going on, buddy? Ben Demon Hunter, beaming his signal from, I'm assuming, frigid Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Great to see you, Ben. Paris is in the house with Greg the Whiskey Guide. What's up, man? Good to see you. Warm day there, too. All right. Good to hear. Good to hear. Looks like Ben's freezing up there still. Yeah. I suppose I'm not too surprised yet, man. We're getting there. It's almost March, right? Only 3 more months of this. So Mika Ivy, what's good, whiskey people? I'm on that gin tonic tonight. It's warm in Chicago. Hey, all right. Staying a bit late, alive. Good to hear, man. -2 Celsius. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. If 0 is freezing, right? Celsius, so that's what, like, I don't know, 20 degrees, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Enough cold for 1 year. Yeah. Don't get too excited yet, man. You never know. He earlier on continued to assess some samples, bottles for the upcoming Whiskey of the Year video. Some surprises to expect. Oh, okay. If y'all ain't subbed to our friend Greg's Whiskey Guide, you might want to do that right now, because it looks like he's got a Whiskey of the Year video coming up. Those are always great. Tamika saying, hey, how you doing, hon? To Greg, you too. What's this stuff malts doing? Yeah, I'm going to get into that in just a second. So hold tight. Doing better than 2 weeks ago. No Bunnahbahain Feis Ile here, but another distillery might take the lead for a year gone. Oh, okay. Just dropping some breadcrumbs, y'all. I'm going to be checking that out for sure. Just want to malt that hair and beard. Tamika. You make me blush, Tamika. Glad you're doing well. Wow. It's 3 hours every Tuesday, my friend. Yeah, appreciate that. Smash the thumbs up. That's always cool. Appreciate that, Greg. Maher. Beaming his signal from Delhi, India. How you doing, buddy? Did you pick up that Buffalo Trace? People saying hi. Not picky, not Calgary. Oh, I thought you were in Calgary. Why am I wrong? Man, I've been saying that for so long. Correct me, bro. Andrew Page, pouring some air in 10. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. As always, great to have you. Kapil, what's up? Our other friend out in Delhi. Great to see you. Freezing markers 32 Fahrenheit. Yep, that's right. Hey, whiskey friend. What's up, Alan? How are you, bud? Great to have you in the house. He's an hour from Calgary. Okay. So you're up near like Banff and all that, right? Jasper National Park on the Rockies. Are you east or west of Calgary? I was supposed to go there last year. Couldn't do it, though. Fucking COVID. Maybe this year. Probably not, though. Maybe next year. Was going to do that and drive to Vancouver, man. Yeah, we got some night owls for sure, our friends over in Europe. France. We got UK. Yeah, it's getting a little late for y'all. Staying up past your bedtimes. All right. Let me set things up for us. So I am going to have a couple sips tonight of something real special. What I got here is the Feis Ile release, Moine release from Bunnahbahain. So Bunnahabhain did 2 releases this year, or I'm sorry, in 2020 for the Feis Ile Festival. If you don't know what that is, it's a festival on Islay. All the distilleries tend to release bottles for it, and it's a good time. So what they did here in Bunnahabhain is they released a 17-year-old with a Madeira cask finish, and then they got a 10-year-old here, or 9 years old, which is a Moine, which means smoky. So this is a heavily peated one, and it's an amontillado finish. Only 1,658 bottles, which is pretty amazing. 56.9%. I'm gonna get this in the glass right now, y'all. Real excited for this one. Let me know in the chat. I mean, these are not easy to find, and definitely not stuff you really can get in the States for the most part. All right, there we go. All right, let's get some of this in the glass. Nice, hearty Tuesday pour to get things rolling. I'm a big Bunna fan, and the fact that I was able to land this one is just beyond exciting. I do think their peated stuff is really good, and it's at a good age too. I like younger whiskeys with peat, smoky, and this one is right there. So stoked to check this out. After we're done sipping on that, I got a really nice set of samples in the mail late last night from good friend of the show and Patreon supporter Andrew Page, my boy over in Jersey. Thank you, Andrew. He sent 6 samples, and I'm going to be checking one of them out tonight. Something I've wanted to try for a really long time. This is the Highland Park Full Volume. It looks like it's about a 17 or 18-year-old whiskey, 47.2%. Never had this one. I've heard nothing but good things. So really excited to get into this. So, I'm always looking for a Highland Park that's going to kind of just hit that next level for me. I don't, I'm mixed on Highland Park. I really like their stuff, but I don't think I've ever had anything from them that's been really just a mind-blowing whiskey. I do have the 21, which is the oldest one I've had. It's good. It's not amazing. The 12-year-old is a standby, everyday kind of sipper pour. The 18 is good, but it, again, didn't wow me. And some of these other NES releases I've had have been hit and miss. Didn't really like the cask strength all that much compared to what I expected. So, Highland Park puts out like 5 million bottles different expressions every year. And so I can't even pretend to try to keep up with them. But in the second half of the show, I'm going to check out Full Volume. Thank you again, Andrew, for sending this my way. Then, of course, Telex and Malt Show for Tasty Tuesday will kick off at 9 Eastern. As always, I will drop the link in the chat when we're ready to do that. But we still got 50 minutes whiskey chat coming up before that. If you can join us later, Telex and I are going to be heading to Speyside to taste some Glenlivet. In hour number 1, we're going to be tasting a non-age statement expression called the Glenlivet Nadura. This in particular is an Oloroso matured, coming in at a hefty 60.4% ABV. And then in hour number 2, something a little bit more on the pricey side, we're going to be doing Glenlivet 21 Archive. So going to spend some time with a very well-known distillery, and Telex and I will be tasting those 2 whiskeys. So looking forward to doing that with everybody. Awesome. So I'm going to let this Bunna Moine sit in the glass for just a couple more minutes, get some oxygen, let this thing breathe. No, gotta let that neck pour get a little air in it. And then we're going to dive into it. I can smell it already, and it smells fantastic. So while we're letting that sit there, I'm going to just jump back into the chat quick. And by the way, I should mention, as I mentioned, Andrew Page, Daniel, a couple other folks, really appreciate your support on Patreon. If folks are interested in supporting the show, feel free to crack the link, which I just put in the chat. Whatever works for you is great. One of the perks of being a Patreon is that I have been releasing my weekly reviews at least 48 hours early, 72 hours early sometimes. So if you want early access to those, you can get it. If you just want to support the show, appreciate that. And I will also mention that I'm going to have something coming up relatively soon. And we're having some pretty good sample giveaways that I'm gonna set up with some folks on Patreon. So if you get on the list, you're in. You'll be able to join that raffle, which I'll be announcing maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. But I'm gonna have some good stuff, and I want to get some samples out to folks. So totally appreciate y'all, and any way you support the show is freaking fantastic. All right, where am I at now? What's cracking? I'm just gonna start here. Yeah. Always good with Alan in the house. Awesome to see you, buddy. Hope you've been well. I recently caught your Glen Cadam 25. That looked amazing. We were just wowing about Glen Cadam 21 a couple of weeks ago, and then you came out with that 25. I have not seen the 25 anywhere here, but it sounds awesome. I would also recommend checking out the 21 if you haven't already, but you probably have. All right, how much time to go on a plane to Philly to Calgary? That's probably about 4 hours, maybe 5. Not really sure. Probably 5. I would say it's close to there. I will soon get one in a day or two. A bit busy these. Oh, right on, right on. How did I run across that, Eric? Are you talking about the Bunna? I found it on this website. I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to look back and see what it was. I probably overpaid for it, but it's a freaking peated Bunna with an amontillado finish. I mean, come on. Had to do it. I'll look back in there and see what it is. Live chats at facility the last 2 weeks periodically. You can't see people's comments. Oh shit, really? I hope you're not having any issues with that tonight, bud. Folks saying, hi, have you ever had a Feis Ile Bunna? Yeah, I've not had a Feis Ile before, or Feis Ile release from Bunnahabhain. I have had some of their other like limited release stuff. They're always really difficult to get your hands on, no doubt. But I, for the most part, haven't been disappointed. I wonder if Alan's had any of the Feis Ile releases from Bunnahabhain. All right, folks saying hi to each other. Highland Park Full Volume was so much better than I thought it would be. Good to know. Good to know. I'm looking forward to that. Great one. You're in for a treat, but don't forget it's mainly first fill bourbon. You need to try the. You're talking about the Bunna? Yeah, I mean, I know that. I do have a couple other. I don't know if I have any sherry ones. I mean, I have this PX one. I haven't even opened that one yet, but yeah, I know. I find that most of them seem to be ex-bourbon, at least the ones that I've been able to find so far. Just finished editing Bunna 25. Oh, been on a Bunna all day, so this should be good. Oh, shit. 25, man. Alan, you rock. If folks ain't subbed to Alan's channel, if any of you have not, dude, take a second, open up a new tab or window in your browser, give Whiskey Friend a sub, as well as Greg's Whiskey Guide. They're both doing kick-ass stuff. Great people. All right. Glad you got those names. Took 10. Yeah, that was nuts, man. I was really surprised. But mails, the USPS here in Philly has been a little bit hit and miss of late. I think they're still really backed up. I got a package that my mother had sent me, but it took like an extra 4 or 5 days. Nice stuff too in the Glenlivet Nadura. Yeah, I got some interesting things to say about that Nadura or about Glenlivet Nadura in general. Spoiler alert, they used to be a 16-year-old age statement on Nadura for folks who don't know, but now they're all NAS. There's a peated, there's a bourbon, and then there's the Oloroso. There's a difference. Don Holland, what's up, bud? Heyday for Highland Park was the 80s and 90s. That is probably true. I wish I could get my hands on something from that era and try it as a point of comparison. All right. Hey, Juan, what's up, bud? Beaming the signal from the Hawaiian Islands. Great to see you, Juan. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Always good to have Juan in the house, hanging with us, even at this early hour for him. It's got to be what, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for you, bud? Almost happy hour time, right? Twisted Tattoo is legit. Agreed. That's actually probably the Highland Park that I've had that I actually thought was pretty damn good. Like I said, they have so many damn releases, and I can't keep track of them. I don't know which ones to buy, so I kind of just stayed away from them. Stuck with the, like, you know, I'll sip the 12. It's a good daily drammer, probably my favorite daily drammer. I do have that 21, which is pretty special, but again, it's not wow. I'm still searching for that wow Highland Park, but I do enjoy their juice for sure. Yeah, you should get that one. 16-year-old age statement. I think it's like 48% or 47%. It's got a Rioja cask finish with nice red wine. It's good. Really good stuff. Welsh Toro's in the house. Plenty of decent indie Bunnas too. So I've heard. Yeah. Good to see you, Toro. Hope you've been well, man. Hope you had a good weekend. All right. Oh, you've had this Naduro. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be interesting. Yeah, dude, that's my opinion as well. I really thought the 16, I mean, Glenlivet doesn't have the wow thing for me really either. I do like their old 18, but you know, man, I don't know. It's by its, you know, it's just a really delicate whiskey, but man, when they put out that it was a 16-year-old age statement and coming in at cask strength, no chill filtration, it's like, holy cow. You really could see what Glenlivet could do, but yeah, they went away from the age statement. So we'll get into that on the Telex and Malt Show, but so I've heard. Yeah, Dark Origins is one I want to try to get my hands on at some point. All right. Awesome, y'all. We got 18 folks in the chat, or 17 folks in the chat, which is super rad. I'm really excited to get into this. So for folks just joining, and if you didn't see the banner on the YouTube video, so tonight I am going to be drinking this is the Feis Ile release from Bunnahabhain. One of two. This is the Moine release, and I think Moine is Scots Gaelic for smoky. So this is going to have some good peat in it. I do love a nice peated Bunna. This is non-chill filtered, natural color, 56.9%, and one of only 1,658 bottles. So not very many of these out there. And yeah, I mean, it's presented in all its natural glory. This is from the 2020 Feis Ile Festival that didn't happen really because of COVID. That's what the bottle's looking like, classic Bunna bottle. And so, yeah, this is a amontillado cask finish. And for folks who don't know what amontillado is, it is another sherry from Spain, but it's kind of in the middle. So if you think about the spectrum, on one side, you got Oloroso, which is like your dark red fruits, kind of nutty, dry fruits, you know, very thick and viscous, juicy. On the other side, you have like Fino, right, which is a very kind of like lighter, drier, more acidic, more, I don't know what you'd say, like maybe even citric. I think acidic is a better way to put it. Amontillado falls right in the middle. So this is kind of like what you would say is that go between like an Oloroso and a Fino when it comes to sherry. I have never had a glass of it. I have had a glass of Fino and Oloroso, but not Amontillado. So I don't quite, know the full spectrum of it, but I do know what it does to whiskey, and I quite enjoy it. There is a great Lafroig release. In fact, I think I have one up there. The 2014 Carchis was a Amontillado finish as well. So with all that, that's the color of this Bunna. Looking pretty good for a 9, maybe 10-year-old. Looks pretty fantastic. All right. So I'm going to kick back and sip on this. Do let me know if anybody has had this. Alan, I'm looking your way. If you've had any Bunnas that you really, really like, or Bunnas that you think kind of didn't live up to the hype, I, all in all, really, really enjoy this distillery. I love their style. What I get from most Bunnahabhain, from like the malt itself, and I'm not sure if anybody else feels this way, but I get what's like an old bookstore. Yeah, there's the fruity notes, but there's this like, and bourbon cask, whatever. But there's this mustiness to it that smells like I've just walked into an old used bookstore. And that is what I get off almost every Bunnahabhain that I've had. And I absolutely love it. I think their 12 is one of the best 12-year-old whiskeys you can get value-wise. It's really quality dram. I love their 18, which made it was on my Whiskey of the Year list 2 years ago. And honestly, I can tell you right now that the nose on this one is freaking fantastic. It's nice and oily. It's got some good legs on it. They're moving slow. Like I said, this was distilled in 2010, bottled in 2020, so they would probably say it's a 9-year. 9 and some change. Really nice color, though. You're getting a ton of, this is just classic Bunnahabhain. It's a finish, so I think that's where you're getting the kind of like darker red or the more like red, sparkling red hue to it. But it looks like a Bunna. It smells like a Bunna. There's a really nice smoke note coming out of this. Peppery, again, salt and pepper. There's some nice kind of dark chocolate. Again, you get this really nice fruit. It's fresh fruit. They're not dried, which makes sense. It's only 9 or 10 years. It wasn't sitting there too long. It's like you walk past the fruit section of the supermarket, or maybe like a farmer's market. You're getting this nice rush of like orange, pear, apple. All those kind of like cider notes. There's some good cinnamon going on in this. It smells, the nose is fantastic. And then it's just the richness. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention about Bunnahabhain is I find all of their whiskeys to be quite rich. And like there's a lot of density to them. Very concentrated. I do like the fact most Bunnahabhains these days you get I think 46% is the lowest they go, 46.3 maybe, or maybe that's check. I think they don't go below 46% on any of their whiskeys anymore, which is fantastic. And this one is definitely hitting all the spots. There's this nice kind of bright, almost vanilla lemon custard thing on the end, which might be coming from that amontillado, but I'm not quite sure. All in all, great. It's lively. It's got a lot of like, it just seems like a very energetic whiskey, but it's also has signature concentrated caramel maltiness that you expect out of Bunna, which is just like darker notes. So, all right, enough. I'm going to get into the taste, man. Happy Tasty Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone has a good pour. Sláinte. Wow. Ooh, fantastic. Unexpected, or not surprisingly, it's like really oily on the arrival. Dense caramel, almost like a yogurt note with a little bit of sour. Honey, vanilla, hazelnut, all this kind of stuff you get on a Bunnahabhain's. Hangs on for quite a bit. You're left with this, like, there's a like peach pie. It's a milk chocolate, which goes in, and then the spice it comes, and it's like pepper, but it's not like black pepper. It's not very dark. It's probably like white pepper. It's got a nice kind of bright finish where you're getting the creaminess, vanilla, the caramel, slight like maple syrup thing, but then you're also getting the like these just popping notes of lemon, juicy fruit gum. There's a little bit of ash. Short, medium finish. It doesn't hang on forever. All in all, quite good. This is just going to be a lot of fun to explore. I really enjoy this the more smoky Bunnahabhains, and characteristically, they're even being on Islay, they don't obviously put out a ton of smoky whiskeys, but this is a winner. And I like that it's young. You know, I do feel like overall, the more peat you have, or the you know, the peated whiskeys, the older they get, tend to get, you know, the smoke takes a little bit of a back end. Now, this is not a like Lafroig heavy smoky whiskey. I would say this is even more peaty than smoky, but it's there. You do get a nice kind of charcoal ash thing going on. Yeah. Wow. And yeah, that's about that. This is bottle number 733 for anybody who cares. So, yeah, let me know in the chat. What's your favorite Bunna? What's your least favorite Bunna? Have you ever had any of the Moine ones, the heavily peated? What's your opinions on that? Get at me. I'm going to catch up on the chat a bit here. Let's see what everybody's got going on. Yeah, I think it's like a 17-year-old though, isn't it? I'm not sure. Oh man, God, the roasted, like the almonds. You ever had those hot almonds before? They come in like the paper funnel. You get them at like a festival, man. It's like a ton of that going on in here. Glenlivet 18 is dessert. Yeah, well, and it's really sad. They dropped the ABV on the US release of that to like 40% now, which is just what a horrible decision that was. Alan says that Glenlivet is not aimed at me, and you felt it's true. This is true. This is true. They threw us a bone with the Naduras, though, right? Didn't they? I mean, a 16-year-old basically cast strength Glenlivet. I see it. I'm here for that, but I'm not so sure I am for the NASs. But we'll get into that on the Telex and Mulcha later tonight for sure. Port Ellen is his all-time fave. Don Holland, you gotta send me one of those, man. I want to see why it's your favorite. Would be amazing. Yeah, right. Look at that again. Look at that. I do think this has really nice balance too. I'm actually. It's a little winier than I expected, but it's not overly done. You still really do get that kind of core, you know, bourbon matured Bunnahabhain. A little mustiness, sweetness. It's really fantastic on the nose. Donner Pass. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Great to have you in the house. As always. Got the whole crew in here. Had a 14-year Bunnahabhain Muscat finish today. Now it had the amontillado Muscat finish. Was that a Feis Ile release too? Sounds delicious. I mean, is there a bad Bunnahabhain? Well, what is that one? There was one that they had that was kind of like the Struider. Is that it? That one was a little bit on the questionable side. I don't know. But that was, again, it was like some NAS release that they were just, you know, lower end whiskey. Muscat finish. Yeah. I'm not sure what the flavor profile is that, but I'm here for it. Hepburn's Choice, Cromarty's Firth, 13 teaspoon to Dalmorth. Wow. That's quite a sentence, Donner. That's awesome. Hey, Fern Bounty. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Always great to have you in the house. Hope you've been well. And folks, if you're interested in some great bourbon reviews, man, give him a sub. Bounty's got a great channel going. Yeah, I think that's right. I do think that I think it's 46.3. Same with like the Tobermory's. If I'm not mistaken. I got a couple Tobermory's. Hang on. This is the Lecheg 18. Yeah, that's 46.5. And so is the Tobermory 12. Yeah. Interesting. There's something magical about 46.3 apparently. All right, what else is going on? Wow, as this sits here, I'm getting a really nice kind of cigar tobacco note. And again, that unmistakable like Fino sherry. It's almost like very effervescent, really sweet, citrus and tangy. It's quite nice. Hey, what's up, Al? Yeah, concur, brother. I concur. And it's not disappointing. I think there's going to be a lot of fun to drink on this one. Yeah, quite delicious. All right. Mike Myers in the house. Silverlock's in the house. T Squared's in the house. What's up, folks? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Getting after it. So let me just give everybody a little update. So yeah, basically, after this, I'm going to test out a sample sent by Andrew Page. Again, thank you for that. It's the Highland Park Full Volume, pretty readily available pour, if I'm not mistaken, but not one that I've had. So we're going to check that out, and then Tasty Tuesday show with Telex and Malt. We are going to be doing in hour number 1, Glenlivet Nadura Oloroso matured. And then in the second hour, we're going to be doing Glenlivet 21, I think it's called Archive. So 2 Glenlivets coming up. One that's really, pretty affordable, pretty available. The 21, I don't know what the price is on, but I can't imagine it's too cheap. Just do not know. So let me go in for another taste of this, and I'm going to put some water on it. If you're going to knock this for one thing, it's oily and it's viscous, but the arrival is a little bit flatter than I would expect. And I think that's just because this is so damn young. I guess you just like to see it a little bit. The nose is quite rich, but it doesn't translate completely onto the palate. I feel like it's a little bit less than you'd like. And of course, I mean, this is only probably 9 or 10 years old. It's quite good. And it's a damn good, it's great that they were able to get these out given all the stuff going on with COVID at the time last year. So yeah, I'm going to do a little water just to do it justice, see what else we get out of this. And then I'm going to move on to this Highland Park. And yeah, let me know in the chat, what are folks' opinions on Highland Park Full Volume? In fact, can you give me the 101 on Highland Park Full Volume? I actually don't know much about it. I know it was like one of those NAS releases that came out in the flurry of Highland Parks that come out every year. I think this is what, 4 or 5 years ago. I've seen the box. It looks like an old like boom box from like the 80s. I don't know. Like a full volume stereo, all that. So yeah, let me if anybody has the rundown on it, and would love to hear if folks think it's a good one. And price wise, what is it, around like 90 to $100 US? Man, roasted nuts, bit of saltiness. That's coming through even more now. It's almost a little meaty too. Wow. That development is incredible. I think water actually did this some justice. You're getting a lot of like mocha, dark chocolate notes coming through this now. It's just a little, maybe you'd like to see another 2 or 3 years on this, ideally. But minor criticism, I usually don't taste things on uncorkings or rate things on uncorkings with a final. So like preliminary score-wise, I think this is in that like 4 range, give or take. Cost-wise, they're like probably close to 300 and will only go up. So I'm not quite sure if it's, rises to that level unless you're a huge Bunna fan. But Alan, the whiskey friend, might be able to get it a little cheaper out by him. All right. Give me the glass going here. So Highland Park Full Volume. So this is, again, courtesy of Andrew Page. Andrew, thank you very much, my man. Appreciate the samples. Appreciate your Patreon support too, brother. Always. We did a little sample swap. He does not live far from me, so we were able to get them to each other. Well, we were supposed to get them quick to each other, but the way the mail's been working around here, it took him. You probably could have walked it here from your house in faster than 10 days. Anyways, Highland Park Full Volume. It looks like it says distilled 99, bottled 2017. Is that, do folks know if that's something that they put on the bottle, or 47.2%, which is pretty rad. I'm guessing this is all ex-bourbon, the way it looks, but I might be wrong. And I don't know, did they chill filter or natural color? Probably natural color, but chill filtered. It's usually kind of Highland Park's MO. Anyways, I'm getting this in the glass right now. Looking forward to this, man. Really looking forward to this. This is one that, it's been one of those that you see every once in a while, and I would just, like I said, man, Highland Park, I like their stuff. I really do, but there's so many. I don't know which ones to get. And like, I'm not going to sit here on the internet reading about like 20 different Highland Parks that came out in the last year. Valfather and Val Kilmer and Valknut and whatever. And then there's like the Full Volume. And then there's like all these other, you know, weird age statement ones, the Wings of the Eagle and the Teeth of the Bear and the, you know, all this stuff. So there's just so much, and it's overwhelming. So I don't really mess with it. The only one I did get last year was the cast strength, which was a disappointment for me. And I guess not surprisingly, it was okay. And then I did the 16-year-old Rioja cask. I don't remember what it was called now. That one was pretty good. And I bought that because it was age statement. It had a good like ABV on it. But I can't keep heads or tails on all this Highland Park stuff. So I just pretend they don't exist for the most part. I mean, I got that 21, which is really good, but you know, that's a specialty bottle. Okay. So let me just catch up in the chat and see if folks have given the, what's the word I'm looking for? The phrase, the tail of the tape on this Highland Park Full Volume. Here's my boy, Andrew Page. It has a vintage age statement, a mix of 200 first filled bourbon, all filled over a 6-month period. So 17. Okay. 17-year-old. Compared to their 18, which is, I think, you know, that's the ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, but it's all 43%. Full Volume is the only Highland Park I have at present, says Don Holland. Well, that is a vote of confidence. Thank you, my friend. Good to know. Sounds like this might be something real special. I'm excited to get into it. Greg says, yeah, 17-year-old with 3 cast types. Non-chill. I've rated it a 91.5. Holy shit. Okay. Man. Andrew Page runs about 90 to 100. Total wine, always have it. Stumbled across in Christmas shopping. Wish I had picked up more than one. Okay, y'all. Damn. Okay. This sounds pretty good. American Oak, Hogsheads, first fill bourbon, uncolored, unchilled. Dude, this is the kind of, this is sounding good. It says filtered at 4 degrees Celsius. Barrier filtered or whatever. Yeah, sometimes Highland Park goes a little overboard with the amount of info they share. Like, I'd rather have them share too much than too little. But some of their boxes are kind of funny. Listen, the one on the twisted tattoo. No, like, you know, let me just hang on. I mean, this 21-year-old, like, they basically tell you, like, you know, what the guy's cologne was that day. So here's what they say: created from 6 first fill. And again, by the way, I think this is pretty cool of them doing. It's just a lot. Created from 6 first fill seasoned, sherry seasoned European oak casks, 4 first fill sherry seasoned American oak casks, and 5 refill refill casks, which is, refill is code for third fill. All hand selected by Gordon Motion, the whiskey maker, laid down and matured safely within the 19 dunnage and 4 racking warehouses at our distillery. Blah, blah, blah. And then there's like another entire paragraph of like just tons of info about it. So it's kind of funny. like they're kind of notorious for not sharing enough information on some of their bottles, and then on these other ones they just go overboard. All right, you don't want to pick it up if you see. Okay, well, I'm about to get into this right now. So yeah, here's the color, which I guess is natural. Highland Park Full Volume. It's got to be natural. I mean, look at how kind of pale and light that is for a, 17 years old, you guys were saying? All right. So the nose, kind of subtle. I'm picking up pear, apple, slight melon, slight tropical fruit thing going on. Bourbon notes, surprisingly muted. Okay, there's some like ginger, some cinnamon, vanilla, and then like pudding, like a tapioca pudding or something like that. There's the spice. But the spices are really they're like those kind of round spices. They're not very aggressive. It's like nutmeg type thing. Okay, and you go a little deeper now. There's a little that bright apple. Interesting. The nose seems like it's got some depth to it, but lighter than I expected. I mean, for first fill bourbon cask, I don't know. My gut was thinking that this would be like much more oaky and those darker brown sugars and stuff, but not so much. All right, let's give it a taste. Take you again, Andrew. Okay, I get it. Oh, that's a nice ride. Wow. Okay, a lot going on here. So for me, what I'm picking up initially, it's kind of just like sweet vanilla, slight citrus, and then you get this nice surge, and I'm talking like a second and a half after it hits your tongue. It goes from this just kind of medium, slightly vanilla, slight, pear, and then you get this nice surge of fruit. It's like golden apple, honey, classic, that honeyed Highland Park thing. So then that pops through, and then you get this nice surge again, like another part of this roller coaster of the cinnamon spice. And again, it's more like the dry powdered cinnamon, not like the cinnamon hot candies or anything like that. There's some strawberry, creamy kind of strawberry shortcake thing going on. That slight peatiness. Lemon meringue, not lemon like acidic lemon. This is not an acidic whiskey. Wow. Really long, nice long finish too. Root beer float, like a vanilla root beer combination. Nice oak spice. Okay. This is maybe the first Highland Park I've had that had no sherry in it. And I'm really interested. It's really interesting how still very kind of sweet and juicy it is. That's something that I really get off a lot of Highland Parks. It's kind of like juicy fruit, kind of mouth-wateringness. It's like still in here despite being all ex-bourbon. That's just a damn solid whiskey right there. I'm gonna do a little water. Actually, you know what? I gotta go neat one more time. Let me know in the chat. What else do you guys pick up on this? I'll tell you this much. I'm not sure I could have picked out that being a Highland Park. But now that I know it, I know what I'm looking for. Wow. There's like a a fresh cut grass thing, kind of like a barley. You know, you're picking up some of the barley notes too, like the sweet kind of honey barley thing. Fresh cut hay, something like that. This is really interesting. Not what I expected, but actually quite good. What did you guys say this was going for? So it's like 17 years old, something like 60 or 80 or $90. Yeah, the Twisted Tattoo was fantastic. If I was gonna say, I edge toward the Twisted Tattoo a little bit, because the thing that I'm missing in this is that sherry, and like the Highland Park sherry with that heathery peat. There's something about it that's just magic for me. I'm missing that a little bit, but this is interesting and clearly good. I mean, this is. I can only imagine this is better than any of those NAS releases that other NAS releases that they put out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with water just a second. God, what a nice nose, man. It smells like some type of like fresh baked pastry or something. Like something with just like powdered sugar and honey on it, and kind of bready. Whiskey Maker's Cut's great. Yeah. Not sure if I would go that high, but it's good. Wow. A plus 93. Okay. Yeah, the 16s. Greg and Maher's heading out. Hey, buddy. Cheers, man. Get after it, man. Get your hustle on. We'll catch you next time for sure. It's like Karuzawa. Some thought that it was a Sherry Monster brand, but then, yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, there are whiskeys that throw you for a loop too, man. I've brought this up ad nauseum, but like, I remember the first time my whiskey of the year of 2019, the Glen Scotia 15. I mean, I swear I drank a quarter of that bottle thinking it was sherry before I looked in it, and there's no sherry in it. That was bizarre. Like this one, I can tell there's no sherry in it, but it does have those sweet, nice fruit notes. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, yeah. You want to talk about Knob Creek store picks? I'll go all day on that. Best value in bourbon, if you can get it. I have some 15-year-olds that were like $50, $55. I know they went up to like $60 now for a lot of those single barrel picks, but it's still worth it, man. Killer bourbon. Oh, that's a single barrel rye too. Okay. Those are even cheaper. Peter White. I don't think Whiskey in the 6 score went that high anymore. Oh yeah. How you doing, man? What's up in Ontario? Good to see you. This is a really, so the water didn't change this too much. It maybe got a little bit brighter, I guess, as expected, but I'm picking up a little bit more of a lime. There's also a little bit more of that oak, but it's in the background, and it's like rounded off with these golden, gold yellow fruits. As weird as it sounds, I get a slight hint of banana and coconut on this. I like it for what it is, for sure. I'm just not sure. It's not checking that Highland Park box for me enough. And that's not a slight. This is just totally subjective. I think if I'm objectively talking about it, this is a really great bourbon cask matured whiskey. I think the first fill on this is an interesting choice, given like obviously full volume, right? I mean, they're going for something that's going to have a lot of just like richness and boldness, which this certainly has. But I do think some of the complexity is a little bit lost on it. That said, those first tastes, the way that this thing just surges with it, and you get these hints of other notes, which are the way that it progresses as you drink it was really fun. This is a really fun whiskey. I don't know if this reaches a must-buy level for me personally. I mean, I think quality-wise, this is probably in that 3.75 to a 4 range, if not maybe a little bit higher, which I guess the equivalent for me would be like a 90, 89, 88-ish if we do that. I gotta say, knowing that it's a Highland Park, and this is why this might have been a fun one to do blind. Knowing that it's a Highland Park, I'm just like, but where's that sherry note? Where's that like nice red fruit thing that kind of holds the body together? Man, I'm even getting some pineapple at the end. There's a lot of little things just popping up here. This might just need to sit in the glass longer. Yeah, preliminary score wise, I'm in that, I don't really like to review samples or score samples because I feel like you need some time with a whiskey. But yeah, this is kind of in that, 3.75, 4 range. Quality stuff. I don't know that it's my like new go-to Highland Park. I still feel like the 12 Viking, whatever it's called, is going to still be like my go-to there. But quite good. Andrew, thank you so much for this sample, man. I appreciate the share on this. And let me just catch up in the chat. So we're about 9 minutes away from Telex and Malcha. So just so everybody who may have just joined now, we got 22 folks in. What's up, everyone? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Telex and I are doing some Speyside tonight. We're going to the Glenlivet. I am going to be, in the first hour, we're going to taste the Glenlivet Nadura. This is a Oloroso cask matured, non-age statement. You'll learn more about that later if you don't already know. 60.4% ABV. This is from, it looks like 2016. All first fill Oloroso, non-chill filtered. I mean, things you just never hear on a Glenlivet label. Well, there they are. We're going to be trying that in hour number 1. That's a relatively available whiskey. Their Nadura range is not exclusive in any serious way. And then in hour number 2, we are going to taste something a little bit more on the expensive side. We're going to be doing the Glenlivet 21 Archive, which I'm just guessing comes in at 43%. Telex's label here did not say much about it, but should be interesting. I hope everybody can join. I will drop the link in the chat in a few minutes when Telex is ready. But if you guys can't hang for any longer before you leave, do me a solid. Just hit that thumbs up. It actually does a lot to help promote the channel and keep new folks and new blood in the chat, sharing their opinions, which is what this is all about. So yeah, please do hit that thumbs up before you head out. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do that too. If you're interested, I do drop reviews every Friday. So this Friday, speaking of Knob Creek, I'm finally going to release a Knob Creek single barrel bourbon review, which I think I've talked more about Knob Creek single barrel bourbon over the past year and a half I've been doing this. And yet I've never done an actual review of the core bottling. So check it out. You'll be pretty interested to hear what I got to say about it, I think. And then I talk a bit about the store pick options as well for our friends here in the US. So keep an eye out for that. That'll drop Friday. In the meantime, let me just catch up here a little bit. On $100 for the full volume. Okay. Long gone from Ontario. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering if this is something you even see up in Canada, but you said that you had a couple bottles of it or something. So I've heard about that. So Quig and I were talking about this. We did a live stream a couple weeks ago, and we were talking, I think, over email about that. He liked that one the best. Didn't really like the Valkyrie. And then there was the most heavily peated Highland Park ever, apparently. It was called Valfather. I can't even keep track of all this stuff. Valfather. which I've not had either. So I don't know if anybody's had that. A more heavily peated Highland Park does kind of interest me, but yeah, I just don't know what to do with those bottles. They don't tell you enough on the fucking box. Let's just be real here. Real talk. Like, I go into the store, I see this flashy label. This one's called Val something, but they don't, those NAS expressions, they don't really say much on them. Unless I'm mistaken, but like, I swear every time I've looked at those, I was like, what is this? Like, what am I buying? It's a Viking dragon whiskey from Highland Park, but like, what's in it? What does it do? What's the story? Is it non-chill filtered? Is it like, they don't say much. And like, that's another thing. And they're all like $80. I'm like, I don't know. You're talking about the full volume. Okay. So that, yeah. Okay. With that in mind, $80. Yeah, definitely. This is an $80 for $80. If you can afford it, this one's probably worth it. I can't really think of any heavily bourbon matured alternatives that I'd go higher on. I would rather sip this than probably plenty of those. +1 Don Holland. All right. Am I the only one here who doesn't own a Glenlivet bottle? I don't know. Maybe. Raise your hand if you have a Glenlivet. Obviously, I have a couple 16-year-olds, and then 16-year-old Naduras, and then I do have this NAS Oloroso Nadura. I just finally finished off that Caribbean Reserve I reviewed a couple weeks ago. Thank God. Don't buy that. And I don't think I have any other Glenlivets. Oh, I have a little bit left of that 18, the old 18, which I liked a lot. But Glenlivet, it's just not something that I'm like reaching for very often, No Glenlivets for Ben. He said the 15 French Oak. Ooh, that sounds good. That Founders Reserve. Yeah, I bet that wasn't so good. Damn, Greg's got 11 of them. Doesn't mean they're all good. My tip, try the indie bottles. There you go. I think as Welsh Toro was talking about a little bit earlier. It's very coconutty and pineapple too. Lots of wood spice. Yeah, that's a good point. Same price. I think if it's like, they're both quite bold and assertive in their cask maturation, right? Like, I feel like this one is just like heavily caramel-y bourbon in your face. That other one, the Rioja cask one, is like very, very fruit forward. I think it's kind of one of those, to each his own type things. I think I like the Twisted Tattoo a little bit more, but this is no slouch. T-Squared's got no Glenmos either. I might pour some Viking Warrior Prince. Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's, no shortage of those. This is getting better and better, though. I've had the 10, the Valknut, and Valfather preferred the Valknut. Okay. The 10 Viking Honor or the 12? There is a 10, and I think it's like a UK only thing, and it's called like Viking Scars. I don't know, something like that. I think it's Viking Scars. I'm not even going to lie. Are you talking about that one, or are you talking about the 12 Viking Honor? Yes, it is. It is very much. Yeah, it's heavily influenced. That's what I mean. Like this is so unmistakably bourbon, even though it's on the lighter side, which I also find sort of interesting. Like you will, you're not going to pick up any sherry in this. Viking Spirit is the 10. Okay. What do you want from me? Viking fucking whatever. Just tell me if any of them are good. I guess that's all we need to know. I have not had one of those, one of the older ones, but I quite like the newer one. So, Don Holland's taking us down memory lane. Back in the day, man, the Bunna 12 was where it's at, it sounds like. Yes, dude, right. And like, I can only speculate, but I'm assuming they were jumping on this because of Game of Thrones. Like, it was so big. Like, is this going to be the thing? Like, what are they going to do next? I'm assuming that this whole, I mean, I know they say it's because of like their Viking tradition, which is all true and all that, but it's kind of gimmicky at the same time. It's not that I don't know. What it lost for me is it lost some of its like strength and presence. Like Highland Park's bottles used to present themselves as kind of being like a serious whiskey. And now they just look a little bit on the gimmicky side to me. Like, all the embossed stuff on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and I'm just being a stick in the mud about it. But in any event, it's the juice that matters. And, their core range isn't bad. Gates of the Mighty Valhalla. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it is called the Scar. Okay, so it's the Viking Scars, whatever. So Peter White says it's available in Canada. Look at this, dude. Greg's got one called the Thor from the Valhalla collection. Jesus, dude. I can't follow all this shit. Dude, it definitely raises my alarm bells too, brother. Let me tell you. I hear you, T-squared. Fucking scabs. Oh Lord, man, that's gonna be bad. The Viking scabs. That'll be a terrifying release. Highland Park. Yeah, like I said, man, I like Highland Park's profile. I've just never found that one that just like really, really did it for me. So guess what, y'all? Telex, the Whiskey Tech, is live, which means we got 2 hours more whiskey chat. Join us. The link is in the chat. We are going to be talking Glenlivet Archive 21 and Glenlivet Oloroso Nadura. Appreciate all your support tonight, y'all. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Smash that thumbs up before you leave, and even sub if you're not sub for some reason. Always love hanging out on Tuesdays. I'll catch you guys on the other side, man. Peace.